right, joining me now, we are one full week into this border crackdown, is Oklahoma Republican Senator Markwayne Mullin. Senator, are you ready to get a bunch of good old boys from eastern Oklahoma, head to the border and handle this privately?
Well, I think they just all raised their hand and volunteered. In fact, I'm pretty sure when I get home, my yard may be full of my buddies. So when I was looking at it, I thought, you're going to get a lot of guys from Oklahoma and Texas taking this up on this offer. This could get interesting.
I know where you're from, Senator, and I can imagine there'd be a disproportionate number of eastern Oklahomans ready to handle this problem privately. I do want to talk to you about a couple of other things.
They would do it just for the thrill.
Not even for the cut of the loot.
Yeah.
I do want to ask you about a couple of things that are in the news cycle today. I want to start with my former colleague, my friend, Pete Hegseth, Secretary of Defense, someone you ushered into his confirmation late last week. He and Donald Trump, of course, President of the United States, are talking about an Iron Dome for the United States. It's on the list of things they want to see from DOD. I'm curious, Senator, in your mind, why would we need an Iron Dome? We have two gigantic oceans on each side of us. Reagan looked at a Star Wars initiative. Is this something we need to consider, an Iron Dome?
Yeah, and I'm glad you brought up Ronald Reagan. This actually started with Ronald Reagan. In fact, if you listen or watch his movie, it actually mentions it slightly in there. It ended up getting pulled out just because of some treaty. We absolutely should be considering, and not considering, we should have the Iron Dome. In fact, if you talk to most Americans, they probably think we do have a missile system, same as what you see in Israel. But the truth is we don't, which makes us highly vulnerable, because if we do get attacked by ballistic missiles or hypersonic missiles, or God forbid, even nuclear, it's probably not going to be shot all the way from Russia. It's probably not going to be shot all the way from North Korea or from China. It's going to be shot in international waters just off our shores, which isn't going to give us a whole lot of time to respond. And when you start dealing with hypersonic missiles, it doesn't have a projected pattern like a ballistic missile does, where a ballistic missile has an arc that goes up and you intercept it. When you're dealing with hypersonic missiles, you've got to intercept quick, because of the fact that it's moving quick and it's moving at an unpredicted location. So the Iron Dome is something that the president needs to be ushering in, just like he did Space Force. People made fun of him when he said Space Force, and now we realize that the next war will probably be fought in space, because it's going to try to knock out our communication. When he's talking about Iron Dome, this is a president that's looking at future fights, and he's looking at a way to prevent it and keep America safe, which, by the way, was part of his promise to America.
It's amazing how much Make America Great Again is actually forward-looking and making America great into the future. I mentioned,
but he's a
Senator,
business guy, Will. That's what businesses do. The business owner looks forward. They don't look at today. They look at tomorrow, and that's what President Trump is so good at.
Innovating, making deals, projecting into the future. I mentioned, Senator, you helped usher in Pete Hegseth. I know you and I have spoken that you're personal friends with Tulsi Gabbard. We are expecting Tulsi and Kash Patel and RFK Jr. confirmation hearings later this week. Do you feel confident that your fellow Republican senators will confirm Tulsi Gabbard, Kash Patel, RFK Jr.?
I feel confident on Bobby. I feel very confident on Kash. I'm not as confident on my very good friend Tulsi. We've got some work to do, and she's the person to get the work done. She leans into this fight much like you saw Pete lean into it. Tulsi's a new target for the Democrats now that Pete won his confirmation. They're putting all their eggs and all their firepower towards Tulsi. I talked to her early this morning. She's on the Hill. She's having the conversation. She's taking the fight directly to each senator's office, which is exactly what she needs to do. But she's got some headwinds, and I believe we can get it done. But it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough Thursday when you see her in the hearing. She's got to perform really well, and I know she's up to the task. We saw her in the debates. I know she's capable of handling herself. She's going to be calm and collective, just like Pete was, and I think she can perform just as good too. So I feel like she can get done, but I'm not 100% sure we can get it done, but I believe we can.
All right. Well, our eyes will be glued to that on Thursday, and be glued to that tomorrow for RFK Jr. And it's probably a very important step for America to seek and find accountability for the problems that have involved with the intelligence agencies over the past 8 years, from the first Trump administration to the lies of the last 4 years. Yes, but we both know all she needs is Republican votes. So that fight has to happen on the right within Republicans.
That's right.
All right,
we
Senator
got to win the
Markwayne Mullin.
Republican votes.
Got to win Republican votes. We'll dive a little more into that later here on the Will Cain Show. Thank you so much. Always great to see you, Senator.
Thanks, Will.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.